Netflix has finally revealed what you are going to pay for having ad-supported service on Netflix. Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net. Welcome to my media channel. And as you can see, plain as day right here, my Stream Deck is not working today, so I had to move this manually. Hopefully we can get back to dynamic videos in a little bit. That Netflix has set $7 a month for what it will cost to have their service at an ad-supported level. Now, before we get into the article, some of you definitely find this announcement that you are going to have to pay for Netflix with ads to be sacrilegious. After all, you already pay for Netflix. You already pay for these streaming services. Why are you paying for them if they're going to put ads on them? Guys, little history lesson about cable TV. And you might have heard this before if you've been watching my channel for a little while. But when they had regular TV and they launched cable, people were asking the very logical question: why would I pay for TV when I get it for free? And there were two selling points that they had for cable. One, that you would get a lot more channels. I mean, that's always a positive. But the second thing is no commercials. There's no ads. You get TV without the ads. And people felt, yeah, that's worth paying money for. And then at some point, the shows had sponsorships. Technically not an ad, but it's a sponsorship. Then they started putting ads on the shows. And people started questioning, well, wait, why am I paying for cable? I thought there was like no ads. That was the whole purpose of paying for TV. And it's like, oh, by the way, those are the basic cable channels. You want no ads? Premium channels. HBO, Showtime, Disney Channel at the time. No ads for these. And now even the premium channels have sponsorships on their shows. I don't think they're ever going to actually go to ads. That would really defeat the purpose of a premium channel. But there you have it. So here's the thing. I know Netflix basically got on the whole, we don't have ads on our service, and that's one of the things you're paying for. But times change. Enough time goes by, they need new revenue services, and then, hey, ads are what pay for everything. Ads are what have always paid for your shows. And in fact, ads may save some of your favorite shows from being canceled. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, because there's actually a few stories we have to talk about in today's video. I was going to make one yesterday, didn't get around to it, and then this hit. So let's look at this article. Netflix is going to be charging $7 a month for its ad-supported service. So this is from Michael Leitig, I don't know, from the Associated Press. Netflix next month will unveil the first version of its video streaming service with ads, giving cost-conscious viewers a chance to watch most of its shows at a steep discount in exchange for putting up with commercial interruptions. The ad-supported service is scheduled to debut November 3rd as Netflix tries to reverse a drop in subscribers. It will cost $7 per month in the US, a 55% markdown from Netflix's most popular $15.50 per month plan, which is ad-free. Netflix's ad-supported option will also be rolling out in Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Spain, and the UK, according to a Thursday post by the company's chief operating officer, Greg Peters. Besides putting up with roughly 4 to 5 minutes of ads during each hour of viewing, Netflix subscribers who sign up for the cheaper service also won't be able to download TV shows and movies to watch when their devices are offline. Peters also said a limited amount of programming available on the commercial-free service won't be on the ad-supported version because of licensing issues. Netflix is, yada, 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 lost subscribers. So yeah, here's the thing. So $7 per month, which I think is actually not bad, considering what you're getting. Now, what's really interesting about this is that, some series or films will be missing at launch because of licensing issues. But Here's another thing that's going to be going on with Netflix that I think is going to be happening. So I believe that with the Netflix TV shows, those will always be available on the ad-supported tier. You know, you will just always be able to watch the shows. But I think Netflix in a year or two might even introduce the concept of the premium, because at some point people will be saying like, well, why am I paying extra just for no ads? Why, you know, maybe I'll just put up with some ads. I can get a beer or Pepsi during the commercial breaks and I'll save myself 55% of the money. Well, first of all, that the price is going to go up. It always does. But wouldn't it be interesting if Netflix like started paywalling their movies behind the premium tier? So think about this for a second. With the basic tier, you get the Netflix original shows, many of the other programs that they have, and maybe a couple of the older movies that haven't been around for a while. But what if like the prestige Oscar-nominated movies, the documentaries, like the one-shots that really have not done well paying for themselves because Netflix is basically giving them away for free? What if it's like, oh, you want to see those? You either got to pay a couple extra dollars to stream those, or you can sign up for the premium tier. So not only do you get access to all of those movies like The Irishman, The Power of the Dog, Roma, excellent movies by the way, you will also get no ads. So Netflix is positioning themselves to basically have their basic and premium channel subscription services right from the get-go. It's kind of genius. I have to admit, I am an investor in Netflix, but it's just a genius plan anyway. Now, there is one other thing I told you I would talk about when it comes to this ad tier plan, and that is the good that can come from it. Netflix will be revealing for the first time how many people watch or don't watch its shows. This is from Yahoo Life. Alice Hearing wrote this article. Netflix has typically kept its viewing figures close to its chest, which, side note, I think that should be illegal considering they are a publicly traded company, and as an investor, I should have access to those numbers, but whatever. But now detailed statistics for its streaming service will be available and measured by an external, independent body. In the past, Netflix has only released very limited audience data, revealing, for example, ranked lists of its most popular series and films, or global success stories like the smash hit Squid Game, which broke streaming records. But beginning in November, Netflix viewing figures will be reported by BARB, Broadcasters Audience Research Board, after the streaming giant signs up for the service. The British rating service already reports monthly statistics for over 300 subscribed broadcasting channels, including BBC and ITV, but the addition of streaming services, Disney Plus has already signed up, allows for far more detailed insight into how traditional channels and streaming platforms compare. The UK is the first and only country where Netflix has done this, and it comes after policymakers in countries have pressured streaming platforms to abide by the same rules as broadcasters. Although Netflix will be willingly doing this everywhere else, I'm going to tell you why. Netflix's co-chief executive Reed Hastings said he was keeping a promise to the British television industry at a Royal Television Society event in 2019. Quote, "We've kept in touch with BARB since then and are pleased to make a commitment to its trusted measurement of how people watch television in the UK." So, here is why. The why now. This is why they are doing this. And trust me, it has everything to do with the ad-supported service. The figures will be used by journalists, advertisers, and competitors to assess the success or failure of Netflix offerings. A significant outcome since the platform is launching its new, cheaper, ad-supported subscription tier at the same time in a bid to boost subscribers after a bad year. So here's the thing. The rest of this, like the most expensive movie ever, The Gray Man, cost company $200 million to make and was reportedly knocked off the top spot. This is the key thing right here. If you're going to start charging companies advertising money, you have to show them what they're getting for their money. You have to show them what people are watching, how long they're watching it, how many eyeballs are on those ads. And that they're going to have to do that if they're going to be successful with the ad tier. Keep in mind, like, there's a reason that the series finale of Friends was able to command Super Bowl price commercials because they had enough viewing figures over the years to say, this is how many people will potentially be watching Friends, the series finale of Friends. And this is how much it's going to cost just to get in the door. And by the way, if we get more than this amount of people, we get a bonus from you guys. And the advertisers then decide whether or not that is worth it to them from a business perspective. And here's the thing, this might actually save some shows. Like, for example, Cowboy Bebop, which I know a lot of people have mixed reactions about. I personally liked the show. My wife loved the show. I would have loved to have seen a second season of Cowboy Bebop. It did have good viewing numbers. Netflix did brag about them. And you know that Netflix is doing good when they brag about how many millions of minutes were viewed in the first day or two. But here's the thing. It did not bring in any new subscribers. And that's the dilemma with Netflix programs. If the show is the most watched thing on the platform, it doesn't matter if it doesn't bring in subscribers. But with an ad-based thing now, well, Cowboy Bebop might have gotten a second season. If advertisers saw that it got this many millions of viewers on this amount of time, then the advertisers might have said, hey, you know what? We would happily sponsor a second season, and even if it didn't bring in any new subscribers, because the advertisers are happy with those numbers, and maybe even a specific company or two that's willing to pay a premium to have their ads on that show, well, now Cowboy Bebop is a success for Netflix. And by the way, you know that Stranger Things Season 5 is going to do great business for Netflix with ads. Even the next season of Squid Game going to do bonkers money for Netflix. So anyway, I know that people don't like ads. And again, they will have a tier where you don't have to have the ads. It will cost more money. I'm going to personally be paying for the tier without ads because I'm just kind of used to it by now. And also I have Hulu with ads. I think that's enough for me, ads for me, if I'm being honest. But this could ultimately be a good thing for our shows. If you do want to save some money, it's an easy way to save some money, especially with multiple streaming services out there. I mean, if you stop and think about it, you could, instead of paying $15 or let's say $12 or $13 for Disney, $15 for HBO Max, and $18 for Netflix, because that's what you have to pay to get the 4K. And instead, you could pay $10 for Disney, $10 for HBO Max, $7 for Netflix. I mean, you could cut a lot out of your monthly bill if you do the ad tier services. So, this will probably do very well. And I, again, would not be surprised if in a year or two, Netflix starts locking their movies under the higher tiers as, like, its premium content. So this is one of the reasons why after the Netflix stock tumbled quite a bit, I bought some more, because it's like, yeah, they've got some tricks up their sleeves in the long run to really make this work. But this is not me saying you should invest money. Don't invest in anything that you're not comfortable with investing in. But what I am saying is that I see the logic on what Netflix is doing, and I see how it could potentially be successful. But I would like to know, what do you guys think about this? Are you going to be getting the ad-supported service? Do you have Netflix right now, or do you just not like this whole idea in general? And by the way, if you don't like commercials, I understand, but that cannot be the reason for why you hate that they're doing this. Like, give like a real tangible reason for why they shouldn't do this, because ads do pay for your favorite shows. But I'd love to know what you think about this. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.